Hey everybody, welcome. So we are now on our last and final week, and I have already gone through the quiz with you all, and I showed you answers to that. And now we're going to move on to the second part of the week and the final part of the week. Yay! So this week we're talking about infections and health, and it's kind of ironic we're talking about this during our awful pandemic that we have going on right now. So I'm just going to quickly go through this. The first page isn't working for me. It hasn't been all night. So I think it was page 3. I think that we'll start. Yeah, we're going to start here. I'll go ahead and just play this video real quick. And there's 2 ways to do this assignment this week. You can either do guided notes this week, or you can do the filtration lab, which I'm going to do with you all. And you can either copy mine or you can do it on your own, whatever you want to do. If you can, do it. If you can't, don't worry about it. That's why I make these videos for you guys. All right, so just so you know, this is what the guided notes looks like. You'll have to write these answers here. What are microorganisms? What is the role of the immune system? Some of you have been doing these, but you haven't been doing them all. So if you want full credit, make sure you do all the notes. And then you can just click this, and then you can type on it and fill it in as you go. We're fine with that this week if you can't build the contraptions. Okay, so let's just... This was a very good video. It was short. So let's have at it.
Some people believe that if you drop a piece of food on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds, it's safe to eat. But how true is that really? We're here to find out. The gross part about the 5-second rule is the germs, specifically pathogens. Pathogens are things that can infect you and make you sick. These disease-spreading agents come from a few different sources. First up is the virus. A virus is an infectious agent that replicates by
Sorry, I have to say, doesn't that look like a coronavirus?
invading a host cell. Once infected, the host cell will replicate thousands of the original virus over and over again. Viral diseases are sometimes hard to treat because they hide inside your cells and are resistant to medicine. Then there are bacteria. These single-celled living organisms, or microorganisms, can be good or bad. In fact, humans have trillions of bacteria living in their bodies already that actually keep us healthy. But if the bad kind ends up inside you, likely the kind you'll find on a dirty floor, well, that's not so great. The good news is that most bacterial diseases can be treated with antibiotics. Fungi and parasites can also be pathogens. Fungi can appear in the form of yeast or mold. Like bacteria, not all fungi are bad. The antibiotic penicillin actually comes from a mold, but some can definitely make you sick. Those are the pathogens. Parasites such as tapeworms like to snack on living hosts and make a meal of them. They get fat by eating up the nutrients you should be getting. Others, like fleas and mosquitoes, can spread diseases from host to host. Disease spreads when you come in contact with a pathogen, either from an infected person or, you guessed it, contaminated surfaces, food, and water. So, is 5 seconds long enough for your food to come in contact with the pathogen? Studies show that it's less about the amount of time food is on the ground and more to do with the amount of pathogens present on the ground. So unless pathogen pizza is your flavor of choice, we'd say if you drop it, toss it. 5 seconds is all it takes.
Okay, let's put this back here. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, put this back. All right, so you learned in that video there's 4 major types of human pathogens. This word pathogen means you have to have in your brain as something bad, negative. There is bacteria, fungi, like fungus, and it showed us like mold is a form of fungus. Parasites like mosquitoes, and viruses like the one we have right now, like the coronavirus. So it's a pathogen that we're dealing with right now. Let's see. How are they spread? Touching, sneezing, infected animals. Lots of ways to spread pathogens. see if we can go through this quick because I know we have a lot to do. We have to combat pathogens, our body is quite in tune for it. We have something called the immune system, which has white blood cells in it, which fight off a lot of this bad stuff that we're dealing with. And there's two types of white blood cells. There's T cells and B cells. And it's called a lymphocyte. That is a type of white blood cell. And they're known for fighting off specific things. For example, okay, so we have T cells. Healthy people have tens of millions of them, but the B cell are specialized to where they can fight off a specific thing like strep throat or the common flu. And now they're trying to create an antibody or a type of something like this to fight off the coronavirus. So very interesting as we go along here. All right, how do these viruses affect our body systems that we've learned? Here we have a respiratory system. You got the esophagus, stomach, intestines. This is a digestive system. Nervous system, remember I told you with the brain. Circulatory system, remember, with all the blood circling your body. Circulatory. And musculoskeletal system, where you can move. Okay, so we have their body systems. Now, how do these pathogens affect these body systems? Well, let's pick one. Let's see, maybe one you might know. The respiratory. Influenza, that's the flu. So the pathogens can affect our lungs by making us cough. It can give us pneumonia. So that's not good. It can hurt our stomach really bad and you get sick. You can get cholera, dysentery. The nervous system is affected by AIDS, meningitis, bacterial. So you can't really feel things or have normal sensations if you have a pathogen affecting your nervous system. So, and it just goes on and on. It's very interesting. Let's see. Moving on. Non-infectious diseases are spread by parents. Any type of parent can spread it to their kids if they had it or their parents had it. It's like a generational thing. So some of them can be just handed down from generation to generation. Cystic fibrosis, Huntington's disease, sickle cell anemia. There's also environmental type diseases that affects a lot of people. Allergies are extremely common. Animal dander, dust, mold, pollen, asthma. Lots of people have asthma. Okay, so these are environmental and handed down, inherit from your parents. Okay, they're not exactly something you can fight off with your immune system like we were talking about. Okay, all right, so let's get on to the fun stuff. You can either do the guided notes like I was talking about, or you can, these guided notes, or you can do the worksheet with me right now if you want. It's about water and pathogens. So water is an essential nutrient the body needs to survive. We have to drink all the time, right? In many countries, and children walk miles to collect water for their families. That's very true. Some people aren't as fortunate as we are to where we can just turn on a tap and there's water. All right, so the water is used for drinking, cooking, washing, and cleaning, but often the water is contaminated. Okay, contaminated with bad stuff. That's what that means. It can contain bacteria and pathogens that can make people sick or even cause death. This leads to an awful situation. Certain death without water or possible death from contaminated water. So these people are like, oh, we got to have water, but it could be contaminated. So what can they do? Very, very scary. Okay. Water, for these people, it has to be cleaned. They can use chemicals to help destroy the bad stuff called coagulation. They can use aeration. That means they just add air to the water. Make kind of like a fish tank where you add air to the fish tank and the water can stay fresher longer. You can use disinfection, filtration, and that's what we're going to do in a minute. We're going to make our own filtration system. Okay, let's see. Scientists and engineers are doing their part to clean the water crisis. All right, maybe you'll be the one to come up with a solution to the world's clean water crisis. Open your worksheet to get started. All right, so I'm going to click on this. All right. You can use household materials like cheesecloth, coffee filter, cotton balls, a funnel, water bottle, a sock, pantyhose, or an old t-shirt. I'm going to use today an old t-shirt. And my second design, I'm going to make a coffee filter design. But I'll show you that in a second. All right, so let's open this. Now I'm able to write on it now. I don't have to drop it in the Office 365 like I had to last time. All right, let's see if we can zoom in here. Okay. Design 1. Describe the appearance and smell of swamp water before and after filtration. Use complete sentences and detailed examples. Okay, so we are collecting swamp water. You can get it from an outside source, like a hole in the ground, a puddle, a lake, a river, or a swamp. If you're living close to a swamp, I wouldn't recommend it right now. I mean, you can always make dirty water, which is what I did, and I'll show you. Like they said here, you can add dirt or sediment to tap water, which is what I did. So, okay. This is actually organic fertilizer in some tap water. And I added some pepper. I don't know if you can see it, and I don't want to spill it on my... I added pepper to it to give it more of a pond look. So this is fertilizer for our plants that I mix with water. So this is our pond water. Okay, it's not really pond water, but we're going to make it pond water. And I made my first design. Real simple. I have an old shirt I don't use anymore. T-shirt. Let's see if I get this out of the way. It's got... I got a Tupperware, and I got my old t-shirt that I don't wear anymore. What I'm going to do is this here. Hopefully I can, and I'm going to, let me see if I can move this here. Can you guys see that? Okay, it is covered with a t-shirt. And it's got a little dip in it. You see it? Okay. So the whole point of this is to clear the water with filtration. And I was going to see how well it works. Now, a t-shirt has little holes in it. Very fine little holes. So I think it should work pretty well. So let's find out. All right. First, let's fill out our work. Description of appearance. This is before and this is after. So before, how does this stuff look to you? Let's see. Let's use some good descriptive words. Brown. Whoop, let's move this. Okay. So this is, remember, you can do this with me now. You don't have to build one yourself, but if you want to, go ahead. It's fun. Brown. It's got suspended particles. Brown with suspended particles. That means they're suspended throughout. Like you can look through and actually see little suspended particles in the top. Suspended particles. Okay. Description of smell or other physical characteristics. Oh boy. So this is fertilizer. I don't know if you know what fertilizer is, but I do. Ugh. It's like animal poop. Cow dung, but it's, yeah. Awful. All right, I can't say awful because we have to be scientific. Earthy, muggy, steamy. I wouldn't say steamy. Muggy. Earthy, muggy. I guess I could say dirty. No. Potent. You know what potent means? Like very strong smell. So potent, earthy, muggy, and earthy means like to smell like dirt. Okay, so earthy, muggy, and potent. That's good descriptive words. Visible cleanness of the water on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being cleanest. Now I have some regular water here. This is a 10. It looks like there's nothing in there, but there's water in there. So this is a 10. So if this is a 10, what's this one? Maybe you can still see through it, so maybe a 2 or a 3. Yeah, we'll just do a 3. Okay. Is that it? Consult. Okay, so now we have to filter it. Move this. This is so very hard trying to do this. Okay, so I got my little... Hopefully I just don't have a big mess here. All right, water filtration in 3, 2, 1. I can see that it's capturing some of the bigger particles. Let's keep it going. I don't want it to spill over. Okay. So remember, if we were in one of those third world countries where they don't have clean water, this is one method of filtration so that they can have some clean water. Now, granted, it's probably not very effective, but we'll find out. Give that a minute, let that soak through. All right, that looks pretty good. Put it back here. Take this out gently. Not much of a workspace. I'm just wringing it out, making sure there's nothing left in there. Okay. So it collected a lot of the heavier material. Let me see if I can show you a picture of the stuff it collected. Stuff it collected. Left over. Okay, gross. Ooh. Okay, all right. After filtration. You know, I don't see any suspended particles anymore. That's interesting. All right, so it is still brown. Isn't it? It is. With no more suspended particles. The little brown, the pepper's gone. There's no little black dots in it anymore. It's just clear, but brown. So obviously, if this was pathogens in here, it didn't get it all. Oh, all right. Smell. Actually, it smells a lot better than what it did. Okay, all right. I like it. Not as potent, but still a little earthy smell. Earthy and muggy. A little bit. Muggy. So, not as potent. Make sure you're copying this as we go along. Because remember, I'm doing this lab with you. So it's not as potent, but still a little earthy and muggy. Alrighty. Rate the visible cleanliness. Well, last one was 3, and it got a little bit more clear. Cleanliness means how clear it is. If this was a 10, maybe a 6? 6? Maybe 5? Maybe a 5. Because it's still, I wouldn't drink that. And you are not drinking anything either if you do this. All right, so it helped, right? I think it helped, but let's this thing wants us to do a little bit more to redo it. So let's see. Consult with the family member about ways your design can be improved. So you can go to your parents or your brother or your sister and figure out a way to make this a little bit better. Use the space to plan out how to improve your water filter. What part are you trying to improve? All right. I would like to try and improve more filtration, obviously. I thought a t-shirt was good because the holes in the t-shirt are very small, but maybe I need something smaller. What did you do to make the changes that you did? What did you make? All right, so what I'm going to do is to make the holes smaller, I'm going to use a coffee filter. I really thought about doing a sponge too. Maybe a sponge might work, but I already have my thing made. But hey, go ahead, try it with the sponge. I'm trying to use a coffee filter. I'm going to the coffee filter to filter out the smaller particles the t-shirt left behind. Okay. Make that red so you can see it. Am I supposed to do something? Extract the feedback. Oh, the name. Okay. I asked my husband a little bit. Husband. No, you don't have to say husband. We'll just leave that blank. If you ask your parents, I got this idea from my parents. All right. On to number 2. So let's get rid of this. I'm going to excuse me while I leave the room and get rid of our old stuff. And let's start anew. Okay. So this time I have, instead of the Tupperware, I have 2 cups. I'm going to pour this one into this one. I'm going to use a funnel so it doesn't go everywhere. And I'm going to use a coffee filter. Okay, and I'm going to put that on top like this. Put that on here. And hopefully it should filter much more particles than the first time. I already pre-mixed this, so it doesn't look as bad as the other one. It's bad, but it's not as bad, I think. It's a little bit clearer. All right. So, description of appearance. I did the same thing. I put pepper in it to give it some more particles at the top. Suspended particles. I gave, there's the fertilizer down at the bottom in chunks. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And I gave it a good stir so that everything's combined. Okay, so we have suspended particles. And we have lots of gunk in there. All right, so water filtration before. It's the same thing. This is just repeat of what we just had. So description of appearance. Brown, earthy. It was muggy, right? Brown. Okay, brown. Oh, whoops, that's the smell. Brown with suspended particles. That's right, sorry. Suspended. Same thing. You have to smell it again. Oh boy. Ugh. Oh, it's so bad. Okay. Earthy, muggy, and potent. Potent. Strong smell. Okay. Cleanliness, I'm gonna say it's the same. 3. Just like last time. Well, I did say it was a little bit clearer than the last time around. So we'll put it at 4. Because it's just my second sample. It can't be perfect like the other one. It can't be an exact match. It's not possible. I mean, maybe, but... Alright, after. Let's do our experiment. Here's the fun part. Alright, pour. 3, 2, 1, pour. Ooh. That's very quick. Again, it seems to be catching the bigger particles immediately. Alright, the last one I'm just... yeah. I'm just going to do it free for all and just dump the rest in. Whoa! Come on out. Come on out. See if I can get more of this out. Okay, well, some of it came out. All right, so there's our captured material. And it's taking a lot longer to filter. Oh, because it's a funnel. See if maybe lifting it might make it go by a little bit faster. You know, it's kind of like coffee. When you're making coffee in the morning, it takes a long time for it to go through. Alright, so we get the idea. I'm just going to pull this out. Get this a little closer. Alright, let's check out our water. Kind of curious myself. Well, it's definitely not a 10. Man, you know what, guys? I say that's almost about the same. I'm sorry, I can't get my camera to work very well. You see it? It might be a little better than the other one. Slightly. I'd say it's a little bit better. Yeah. A little bit, but not much. Alright. Light brown. Well, we said it was brown too, right? Not the other one. Definitely no more suspended particles, so brown. No more. Smell. Forgot this. Wow. You know, I can't. Okay, I got a little tiny whiff of it, but it wasn't like it was like in like knocking me in my face. So yeah, it is earthy. I wouldn't say potent though. I would just say just earthy a little bit. Small earthy smell. It's an interesting thing about doing experiments. Is you never know what's gonna happen. Ah, stop it. Smell. Okay, make sure you're copying this. Just pause video if you need to. Cleanliness. It's definitely clearer. 4, 5. It was clear a little bit by the last one, so if that was a 5, I guess we can give it a 6. Let's give it a 6. I don't think I have my other one still. I think I dumped it out. Okay. But yeah, it was good. It was a little bit better than the t-shirt, but not by much. So I'm kind of disappointed in that, but that's okay. That's science. Not everything works out the way you want it to. Alright. So that was cool, right? I thought that was fun. Alright. Summarize the appearance and smell of the swamp water before and after filtering the process using the... So, okay. After design 1, after the first try, it was very smelly, but after filtered by the t-shirt, it smelled better. It did. Very better. Alright, let me see. Get that red for you so you guys can see it. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. Whatever. Describe the changes you made to your water filtration system. Well, I wanted smaller holes, so I went for a coffee filter to get more of the particles and clear the water more. And like we was saying, the more of those, the more clear you can make the water, the less pathogens, and the better it is to drink for those people who need water. Okay, what feedback helped you make changes to your water filtration system? I know smaller holes filter out more material. Or pathogens. I'm going to say pathogens. We're going to use our science words today. Okay, on design 2, the smell before and after. Before, oh man, it smelled like, well, to say, before it smelled very bad and had a potent musky musk to it. After filtering, I hardly smelled anything at all. Exclamation! Remember, if you are going to do this experiment, please have adult supervision. Don't ever try and go into a lake where the alligators run and try and get some lake water without a parent there helping you. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, what did you learn about the process of planning, testing, and revising a design? Okay, why do we even redesign things? Like, why do we even bother? Why don't we just go with my first one and say that's fine? I don't need anything. You see, by redesigning my filtration system, I could experiment more, right? And find better ways to possibly filter water. We can't just be happy with one and just say, that's it, it's good enough. It's best in science to keep redoing it, do it again, do it again, do it again, as we kept saying. Change something, tweak something, make it better. That's science. And that's why I love science, as you can tell. I'm never happy with anything. I want everything to keep getting better, because we need to keep getting better as humans. All right. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? I sure hope I didn't. Okay. Not be able to test for microorganisms. Oh yeah, you do not test the water by drink. Yes. So let me just say disclaimers. Do not test the water by drinking it. You're only going to waft it like this. Give it a little smell. Be safe. Everything like that if you are doing it on your own. If you're not, you can copy mine nice and safely right here. All right. I went through all the pain of the smelling and everything for you. Okay, and I think that's it. I think that's the last video of the week too. We learned about pathogens. You learned about filtering water, and we learned how to make a filtration system and how to make it a little bit better based on redesign. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. If you have any more questions, please get with me or Miss Polk, and we can help you. So once again, let me just scroll it here and leave that there. Remember, you can always pause. So how to save. File. Remember, it's over there in the corner, right here. File. Click. Save as. They keep calling them activity worksheet, so I'm going to say water filtration design. You can call it, like I said, whatever you want. I like docx. Save to my downloads. See, this means it's going to my downloads. And hit save. And let's turn this in. Modules. Ignore this. Modules. Last one. Submit assignment. Choose file. Downloads. Water filtration design. Open. There's my work. See it? It should appear right there. I'm done. And you're done. You're done with 6th grade. Yay! Alright. I will see you guys in a little bit. I'll be on if you need to talk or ask questions. And we are here for you this week. Alright. Thanks everyone. Take care. Bye. It's been really fun.